Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? Devil's Advocate here. So, remember what I said, you need to get involved in your children's education and, maybe kind of see what their schools are getting into with curriculum and stuff like that. I'm about to show you a prime example of why that's the case. So this video clip is coming out of Arizona State University. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and play the clip. I might pause it here and there to kind of give a little breakdown of what the situation is and explain my 2 cents. And let's roll the film.
You're wrong.
You have it, man. You're offensive. Police lives matter?
You have the same sticker.
We're just trying to do school.
What?
You guys have the same sticker of the other.
But this is our space.
All right. So I'm guessing this is the multicultural room or something like that at the university. So she just said this is our space. So I'm assuming that she's going to say, or I'm assuming that her angle is because they're white, they're not allowed to be there because that's their space. And he's getting heckled. This student right here is getting heckled because he has a Police Lives Matter sticker on his laptop. And if you didn't catch it, he just said, y'all just had the same. You just had the same sticker earlier. Like he just something along those lines where he said that you had the same sticker. But the difference is you're white and you're in our space right now. Let's continue.
We've got a Police Lives Matter sticker and we're getting kicked out. Can't do school. You just said we have to leave.
No, I said...
All right, so just for transparency purposes, I would like to point out that gentleman right there has a "Do Not Vote for Biden" t-shirt on. So this could possibly be a case of one extreme versus the next extreme. But I can't say that for certain because I'm not watching his video. I'm watching their video, right? So let's continue. I just want to put that in there. His shirt does say "Do Not Vote for Biden" on it.
You're making this space uncomfortable. But you're white. Do you understand what a multicultural space? It means you're not being centered.
White's not a culture?
No, it's not a culture. It's
all right. White's not a culture. Okay. Okay. All right. So all right. Oh God. How do I explain this? All right. So listen up. If you're an American culture is a culture, right? Now, this is my perspective. If you're an American, there's such thing as an American culture, right? And our American culture is usually highly diversified with a nice big conglomeration and a nice big melting pot of other cultures, right? I mean, you just kind of like, it's kind of like everything has like this American spin. So if you go down to Texas, right, and you get some Mexican food in Texas, they call it Tex-Mex because it's Mexican food. And it's delicious, but it's not like South America or out of Mexico Mexican food. It's got its American twist on it. It's Americanized. So there is a culture, in my opinion, there's an American culture where things kind of get a little bit of an American spin to it. But either way, these females, what they fail to understand is that they're American as well. At least they sound like they are. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm making assumptions. But they're American as well. And let's just assume that one of those females, because whether you want to admit it or not, I can generally almost tell somebody's ethnicity by listening to their voice. I can. Now, I'm not always right, but I'm right most of the time about it. So, these people they get stereotyped and they assume that they're talking to a black person on the phone. They say, "How do you know I'm black?" I'm like, "Bro, let's just call a spade a spade." Most of the time, I know when I'm listening to a black person on the phone. It's just, it is what it is. You don't have to like it. Even if they speak proper English, like the vocal tones, I can tell I'm listening to a black person on the other side of that phone. It's what it is. It's probably a genetic thing, right? Whatever. Anyways, let's just assume that one of those females recording is an African American, or what I would like to call just a black American female. You have no culture either, by definition. You don't get to claim African culture just because you're black. You can try it if you want to, but you're born here in America. Odds are, I'm willing to wager you never stepped foot in Africa, wasn't raised in Africa, wasn't raised in their culture, so you don't claim their culture. Or you could try to, but you aren't that. You're just as cultureless as this white guy that you're trying to persecute right now. No? Am I wrong? So either you both got culture, or neither one of you have culture. I mean, you got black American culture if you want to try to claim that if you want to. I mean, that there is a little black American culture. There is that. I will say that. But now maybe there's a white American culture too. So you're gonna have to pick. You're gonna have to pick a narrative and run with it. Either both of y'all have culture, or neither one of you have culture. Let's continue.
White is not a culture. Say it again to the camera. You think whiteness is a culture?
This is insane.
So anyway, this is the
ignorant
violence that
as
ASU does, and this is the type of people that they protect. Okay, this white man thinks he can take up our space, and this is why we need a multicultural space, because they think they can get away with this.
I'm gonna sit here the whole time, and you can find somebody to get.
That's cool. We
We're
will.
not kicking you out. We're asking you to leave if you have any consideration for people of color and our marginalized.
So clearly don't.
That I can go?
Yeah, the whole rest of
Okay. So this is what I'm talking about, right? These young college students, these females, are oppressed and marginalized, right? You got to be very careful with what you allow your children to get involved in, what you allow your children to participate in, because they're like sponges. And I have firsthand experience in this. You could send your child or your children away to college one way, and they'll come back 4 years a different person. Because these institutions have methods and they have very strong ways of infiltrating your child's mind and completely turning them into a different person. These kids are sitting here doing their homework, right? In the multicultural center. These females, these suppressed or oppressed females, these marginalized females, thought it was in their best interest to take it upon themselves to infiltrate the situation and heckle these guys because they are white guys in a multicultural center with a Police Lives Matter t-shirt on, and that makes them two white racist kids infiltrating a space, a safe space that's intended for them because these white people are everywhere else. They own everything else. They infiltrate everything else. This is our safe space. Stay out, right? And I didn't even know. Well, let's continue.
the campus, the second floor, the first floor, the whole MU, every single part of the campus centers you. This is the only space that you're not centered, and you're still trying to center yourself, which is peak white cis male bull.
Dude, I'm not racist.
Oh, you're not. You are racist. Your sticker's racist because police. That's a job. You can choose to be a police. I don't choose to be black.
All right, let's stop there. Let's stop. So, his Police Lives Matter sticker is racist because you could choose to be a police officer, but she can. Oh, there she gets. She did. She said she's black. She can't choose to be black. I think sometimes these CeeLo. So, all right. So that's the thing. That's the point I want to make. When these institutions infiltrate your children's mind, right? Young people's minds, children's, young adults, whatever, and they haven't been taught anything else. All they learn are narratives. All they learn are talking points. And they get emotionally committed to this stuff. And they don't even know what they're talking about half the time. Anybody with any lick of sense, with some critical thinking skills would be like, your explanation for why that sticker is racist made absolutely no damn sense at all. It doesn't. Because the last time I checked, correct me if I'm wrong, please. In law enforcement, whichever branch you choose to look at, it's filled with all colors and cultures of people. Males, females, everything in between. Black people, white people, Asian people, young people, older people, everybody. These institutions are full of all kinds of people. But yet, having that sticker in support of an institution that is full of all kinds of people is racist. And I guarantee you, if you tried to sit that girl down and ask her to intelligently deduce and explain why that sticker is racist, she wouldn't be able to give you a logical answer. You know why? Because she doesn't know what the hell she's talking about. All she knows how to do is regurgitate talking points that's been put into her brainwashed head. Let's continue.
Okay? You know what? You can choose to be a cop. You can choose to kill people with a badge, and you're protecting that, which means that you're racist.
All right. So apparently, according to her, only white police officers are capable of doing any of those things that she claims is the reason why being a cop is racist. You know, I don't want to make this video too long, but parents, it's been in the universities for a while, and it's important. They're trying to reach your children all the way down at the elementary level now. Because when you get people in this boat of mentality, they're young. They have their whole life ahead of them. They got their whole life ahead of them. But with this mentality, they will graduate college and blame somebody else for their problems for the rest of their effing lives. Everything that ever happens, anything that ever goes wrong, everything that never goes their way in life is always going to be somebody else's fault because they're being groomed to have a marginalized victim mentality. That's what they want. That's exactly what they want. They don't want to be like, oh man, life is hard, life's a struggle, but let me go ahead and just, pull myself together, recenter myself. And you know what? This might not be, it might not be my fault, but maybe it's not somebody else's fault either. Maybe I just got to try a little bit harder, work a little bit harder, refine myself and try again. No, they don't want that. They want your children to be as low level thinking as possible. That way, these younger generations can spend all this time fighting amongst themselves over low level bickering bullshit. Like I said before, that's my catchphrase, low level bickering. Low level bickering. So they can stay occupied with stuff like this. Spend their energy on stuff like this. While they, and those who know me know what I mean by they, while they change the course in the direction of humanity how they see fit. Don't keep your eyes on us. Keep your eyes on each other. Blame each other. Give each other a hard time. Because what's happening right here, right? The other guy, the guy that was saying, that was wearing the "Don't Vote for Biden" T-shirt. He thought the whole thing was ridiculous. He took it lightly. It was rolling off his back. He didn't care, right? He probably has a stronger personality. This other kid, his friend, but on the other hand, you can see it in his face. He's bothered by this stuff. It was getting to him. He didn't like it. And it's not even that he didn't like it because of what they were saying. He didn't like it Well, it was because of what they were saying, but it's because what they were saying in his mind was complete bullshit. He was being judged by them. He was minding his own business, but he was being judged by them. And he didn't ask for it. And it bothered him. You know what that's called? That's called bullying. That's called bullying. Ironic, isn't it? When you go mind your own business, you're just doing your homework, and then a couple of kids come out of nowhere and start heckling you and calling you a racist just because you got a sticker on your laptop. Maybe his father is in law enforcement. Maybe he has a sentimental reason for supporting police other than just being at on the opposite end of the spectrum for anti-police mentality or ideology. Maybe support for police officers is a little bit more personal to him. Maybe he has a family member in law enforcement. But no, these dumbass kids don't think about any of that stuff. All they do is regurgitate talking points that's been shoved into their mind by these universities. That kid's getting bullied, by definition. But God forbid the tables were turned and these two girls were sitting at the table with their Black Lives Matter stickers on their laptops. And these two white boys came and infiltrated them and excoriated them for their support of Black Lives Matter. That might have made headline news. Think about that.